What's up, guys? Gary here with Selftaughtdev. I don't even have the right page up yet. Here we go. So, you might notice my hat's unclipped because my head is too big. But today we are going to do another LinkedIn assessment. Let's see what we got here. JavaScript or jQuery. We're probably going to go ahead and do JavaScript right now. 15-20 minutes. They ask you a bunch of questions, and if you pass, you get a little clipboard image next to your JavaScript skill, which is pretty lame compared to what I thought I was going to be the first time. But hey, we're going to do it, so let's go. All right, you've written the event listener shown below for a form button, but each time you click the button, the page reloads. Which statement would stop this from happening? I might fail this, honestly. Prevent default. Let's see here. Where would we add it, though? Does it need to know? I'm assuming it'll add it in the right place, regardless of what we pick. Add event listener, click, page reloads. If the button, oh, it's in a form. Okay, cool. So we could do, it's either one of these two. I know it's prevent default. I just don't know if it's on the button or the event. Crap. All right. This is heads. This is tails. All right. Event it is. Yeah, because I don't think they'd be using E as a parameter there otherwise. Oh well. Anyway, next one. So which statement references the DOM node created by the code shown? Okay, so P class pull, lorem ipsum P, DOM query selector dot pull. Yeah, that's the class query selector. This is the ID. This is for just an element, but there's no P or pull elements. So you'd have to reference like the P tag, and then I don't know what the heck this is. Which statement is the, I hit record, right? Okay, cool. Whew. Getting kind of worried there for a sec. Which statement is the correct way to create a variable called rate and assign it the value of 100? Let rate equal 100. Yep, that's it. Those are all wrong. I think that's right in Python, actually. I don't know. I'm going to try doing Python again after I finish this Team Treehouse Tech degree. When would the final statement in the code shown be logged to the console? After 10 seconds? After 100,000 seconds. Wait, after 10,000 seconds. That's right, JK. Let's see here. Console log results shown, okay. Oh, we actually have to look at this for a sec. Let modal equal document query selector results. Set timeout. Yeah, that's outside the function, so this would run before this part does. Okay, yeah, so it's immediately, because that's the only console log statement. So this part would wait 10 seconds to execute, but this would be executed immediately because it's not wrapped inside there. After results are received from the HTTP request. Huh. That didn't sound right. We're just do immediately. Which statement creates a new object using the person constructor? All right, var student equals new. I thought new had to be capitalized, but that's it. Constructor person, no. When would you use a conditional statement? I wonder if it's against LinkedIn's rules to record this and put it on YouTube. Anyway, when would you use a conditional statement? When you want to reuse a set of statements multiple times? No, that'd be like a loop. When you want to choose, when you want your code to choose between multiple options? Yes. When you want to group data together? No. When you want to loop through a group of statements? No, that'd be like a loop. So B is the answer there. I think this is easier than the CSS one, depending on if we pass or not, and if I'm just having like a false sense of confidence. How is a for each statement different from a for statement? For each cannot be, like, you can't break out of it. It has to run through the whole loop. So let's see. Only a for statement uses a callback function. A for statement is generic, but a for each statement can be used only with an array. I don't think that's true. Only a for each statement lets you specify your own iterator. Why would you want to specify your own iterator as long as it loops through? A for each statement is generic, but a for statement can be used only with an array. Huh, maybe a for each statement can only be used with an array. Because I don't think the first one's right. Yeah, plus the way they built this, like having two questions that are really similar makes me think it's either one of those two. Multiple choice question, like tests, those are like easy as fuck if you know how to take tests correctly. But we're gonna go with that one because, I mean, you can use a for statement for like dictionaries or other random stuff, but I don't know if you can do a for each statement on it. I got my massive coffee cup. You've written the code shown to log a set of constructive values, but it instead results in the values 555 and 5 being logged in the console. When a revised version of the code would you use to result in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, so let's see. We got 4 var I equals 1, I less than 4, I plus plus. I need to get loops down more. Oh wait, no. Okay, I thought one of those might change. So that's I's, that's I's, that's I's. The only thing different in this one is the J's, so that wouldn't make sense. That doesn't change anything. We're trying to get 1, 2, 3, 4 to be logged. 1. Would that not do it by... Why does that log out 5 each time? Because the first time... Anyway, let's look at these. Ah, oh, damn, we just got to pick one. Fuck. All right. This one doesn't have J in it. We're going to go with that one. Ran out of time. Crap. Review the code below. Which statement calls the add tax function and passes 50 as an argument? Add tax 50. That's the right way. What is the result of the console, in the console, of running the code shown below? Var storm equals function. Storm.prototype. Ah, dang it. I don't know much about prototype. I came into JavaScript after that, I think. Or I've never had to use it. Let's see. Where's the console log statement at? Console log bob.precip. Okay, Bob is new winter storm. Winter storm is a function. Prototype new storm. Winter storm prototype precip snow. So but winter storm, and Bob is a winter storm, right? And then winter storm is a prototype of storm, so it's an instance of storm. Precip's rain. I don't know. Bob.precip. Can I just copy and paste this and run it in the console real quick? Dang it. What does precip do? Is that not a thing? Is that not real? Ah, dang it. We're just going to go with, I like snow. Seems right. Cool. We're going to fail this. Dang it. How does a function create a closure? What is a closure? It reloads the document whenever the value changes. No, that's not true. It returns a reference to the... Does it reload the document when the value changes? No, it doesn't. Cookies. I can do on-click events and switch between stuff. Okay. It returns a reference to a... What is a function closure? There we go. A closure is a job function feature of JavaScript where the inner function has access to the outer closing variables function. A scope chain has access to its own scope. Okay, that makes sense. how does it create it though? That looks right. It returns a reference to a variable in its parent scope. Copies a local variable to the global. That doesn't sound right. I think it's B. What is the result of in the console of running the code? Use strict function log this dot dis dot logger console log this new log this. Well, not looking too good for us right now, guys. But this is a function. It's not like an object constructor, so I'm thinking new log this would throw an error or something. Or at least return like undefined. Window. Why would it return window? New Tinder match. What's up? I'm cute. I don't know. I can't imagine it would return window or function. What does use strict do again? I have no idea. Huh. We're gonna go with undefined. Because it's not that. That's not right. We're just gonna go with undefined. Cool. All right. You need to match a time value such as 12. Oh, blah. God, this is regex. Fuck me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse. I'm gonna try and stop that. Which of the following regex would work for your code? Okay. Date. That looks right. I like this. Wait. Let's see. A D special character can match any digit, and all we need to do is match the decimal point, right? Wait, what? Oh, so it's got to have a decimal? No, it doesn't have to have a decimal because that one matches. So it would be this, I think. I don't know what the fuck this is. This bottom one. Or this top one. Actually, that one might work too. I feel like this is a trick question. We're going to go with this one. Console log type of 42. So that would be an integer. Number's not a value. I mean, number's not real. Value's not real. And float, it would have to have a decimal in it. So like the only three are string, float, and integer. All right, guys, last one. Then we can see if we failed this or not. Which statement sets the person constructor as the parent of the student constructor in the prototype chain? All right. I need to learn objects better and what prototype does. I'm pretty sure prototype just creates an instance, like you use that when you're creating an instance of an object. Okay, student.parent equals person. That's not right. I'm pretty sure it's B, because that's the only one that's creating the person object correctly. I haven't had to deal much with JavaScript and objects. I just never build anything like that. But, all right, so set the person constructor as the parent of the student constructor. Okay, A is not right because that's the only one that has dot parent. Person, the one right here, that's not right because it doesn't have the parentheses at the end. I feel like there's something different when you want, I guess maybe just doing prototype would do it. Fuck, this is wrong, damn it. Oh my gosh, we passed. Oh, I didn't think we were going to pass that. I thought we were going to fail for sure. There was too much stuff I was not sure about. Oh. Ah, look at that. This is a little clipboard you get. Like, what? That's all I get? Look at this. Look at this. If you guys want to go on here and follow me on LinkedIn and endorse me for JavaScript, because you just watched me pass this JavaScript test like a boss, it'd be awesome. But yeah, you just get this little like past LinkedIn assessment thing. It's kind of tiny. I guess if it's one of my top skills right here, then it'd be cool. Apparently I'm a boss at sales. So when I start selling courses, you guys watch out. I'm just kidding. I got to work on the quality of my stuff way more before I can start doing courses or anything like that. So yeah, that was fun. We'll probably do another one later. If you guys want to come hop in the Discord, we have a little Discord channel, people talking, and get this little Pokemon mod that you can catch Pokemon in the Discord channel and battle each other, because I'm a nerd and that's fun. If you want to come join Team Treehouse, I'll have a link to that in the description. Finished project number 5 yesterday. It only took about an hour or two, because it'll probably take, yeah, if you're new, it'll take like 10 hours. But finished that yesterday, so now we're going on to the game show app. If you have any comments, leave that below. Any like questions. Fair warning, if you ask a question in the comments, I'll probably turn it into a video, because I'm kind of low on video ideas right now. And I'll have my LinkedIn in the description too, if you guys just want to like be friends on LinkedIn. If you like a cool portfolio, I'll take a look at it and endorse you for HTML and CSS. I'm doing resume reviews, so if you want me to review your resume, just send that in. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.